Okay, hello everybody, welcome. This is a Super Mario Kart Time Trial One Try Tournament. This is a Division 1 Group B match, and it's going to be between the world number 4, Antistar, and the world number 5, Aron Langerak. These two players are separated by about a hair's width on the current rankings leaderboard, so hopefully we'll get an absolute great match. These two players are playing for position in first spot out of this group. Whoever wins this match will qualify in first spot and win a bye in the first round of the elimination bracket. In either second or third place, depending on how many track wins they take in their defeat. Currently, I believe that Aron needs to win. Let's have a look. Aron needs to win 6 races to guarantee at least second place. Antistar needs to win 7 races to guarantee at least second place. So these players are going to be playing through all 20 tracks in the game in what we call a one-try fashion. Both players will start each track at the same time, and they will only have one attempt at it. So if they make a mistake, they just have to keep on going. And based on the in-game timer, whoever gets the fastest time on the track will win a point. There's 20 points in total available. They'll play through all 20 tracks, irrespective of the score. And however many tracks they win will be converted into points. Those points will be added to their leaderboard and determining their ranking in the elimination round. Both players are guaranteed a spot in the elimination bracket. They're fighting for first place in the group. And straight off the bat, you see Aron Langerak has missed the zoom start. That's going to cost him probably about 5 seconds, maybe 4 to 5 seconds. Bowser Castle 3 is one of the more difficult tracks. There's a heavy RNG element in the thwomp wall that Antistar will be coming up to just after this corner. And oh wow, he ticks through on the left hand side. That's pretty much a pixel perfect trick there. Basically driving between the wall and the thwomp. Essentially you drive inside the wall. It's incredibly hard to do. It's made to look easy by Antistar. This time he has a nice gap to drive through. So at the moment, unless Antistar makes a big mistake, he's going to get the first point. And he entered this match 1 point behind Aron in total track wins so far this tournament. So this track win will bring Antistar and Aron exactly equal on the leaderboard. They can't be tied at the end of the 20 tracks though, because there's a 1 point difference between them. And the closest we could get would be an 11-9, which would still lead to a 1 point difference between them overall. But it looks like Antistar over 133. That's an absolutely fantastic Bowser Castle one. Still plugging away. Is that his last lap? 146. But that is a pretty special one try for Bowser Castle 3 by Antistar. So both of these players are their current country's number 2. Antistar is the number 2 PAL time trialer in France behind Scoob. And Aron Langerak is number 2 time trial player in the Netherlands behind none other than Karel van Dijkenboden, KVD, who will be playing in a match following this one. Second track's Cooper Beach 2. It's another track with some RNG element. We're getting the RNG heavy element tracks first. Both of them seem to have pretty decent fish positionings. A little bit awkward for Aron on the last fish of that lap. Oh wow, fish into water by Antistar. That's quite a big time loss there. Basically in this game, in the PAL version that we're playing here, acceleration is absolutely garbage. So any mistake which you fall to a full stop, like Aron has just demonstrated, You just take forever to get back to full speed. So we've had two big mistakes, one from each player. Antistar's out to a decent lead. It's looking like we're going to get a 2-0 as Antistar enters his last lap. As long as he can avoid drowning, he should be fine. Yep, absolutely fine there. He's going to come round with a 103. And it's not really a time I'd expect to win this track at this level, but with both players making pretty big mistakes, 103 is enough to take a 2-0 lead, and that puts Antistar to the top of Division 1 Group B now. See Jamu's trying to collect some rent for both players staying at her private pool. As gets a 1, both players get the zoom start. It's pretty critical to get a zoom start, especially on some of the easier tracks like Bazakasa 1. If you can get the zoom and stay out of the lava, you should be on course probably for a 129. We got KVD calling for 128s. If either player gets a 128, it will be absolutely amazing. I mean, they're certainly giving it their best attempt at the moment. Wow. This is, for anybody who's not played a lot of SMK, to appreciate just how difficult what they're doing is. It looks deceptively easy. I absolutely guarantee you it isn't. I mean, this is some crazy driving going on at the moment. Looks like Aron's squeaking out a little bit there on the 4th lap. Should be enough. There's some parts where it looks like they're going wide, where it doesn't really matter. And there's other parts where if you go wide at all, it can cost an absolute ton of time. Oh! And we have our first tie of the tournament. A 129.49 versus a 129.49. So, in this situation, neither will get the point, and they'll have to replay this track at the end. So they'll finish through the rest of the 20 tracks, and then they'll replay this track again, and that will determine who wins the point for this. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Aron pulled a bit ahead in the lap 4, but Antistar's lap 5 was absolutely stunning. Lap 5 of a 1 try to pull out a 17.74. That's some crazy level driving. So we stay at 2-0. And we move on to Vanilla Lake 2. This is a track which either looks like it's the hardest track in the world to drive, or looks like the easiest track in the world to drive. I can guarantee you it's not the easiest track in the world to drive, but when it's driven well, it looks absolutely poetry in motion. So we've got a bit of a desync on the starts there. I'm going to blame Aron for that one. He's normally at fault when things go wrong. Probably lost his pad, or dropped his TV on his beer, or one of the 100 other things he tends to do. So far it's looking pretty smooth by Antistar. I've seen Aron drop a bit of speed, but I'm really focusing on Antistar's side because he seems to be the one really driving a very nice VL2 here. Looking like he's on something like a 52 pace, maybe 53. 50, yeah, this is probably going to be a high 53. But still, a high 53 is fantastic on a 1 try. Yeah, 53.80 for Antistar. That's going to take the 3rd point of the match. And Aron had gone swimming, or as we in the community like to call it doing a Michael Phelps. There's going to be plenty of more opportunities to do a bit of a Phelps on other tracks, especially Donut Plains 3, which should be coming up later. But yeah, Antistar really is. He looked good in his opening match against Cager, but in this match he's looking absolutely fantastic. I think that's possibly due to his opponent. I'm pretty sure that Antistar would never want to lose to Aron. I don't think he'd ever live it down. Certainly Aron would never let him hear the last of it if it happened. So I have a feeling that Antistar's been practicing a little in the week. For anyone not familiar with Antistar, he was formerly known in the community as Mario86. He's a two-time gold medal winner in the Time Trial One Try tournament at the annual Super Mario Kart World Championships, where we hold 4 tournaments. One, the opening day is a Time Trial One Try competition. Then we do tournaments in Match Race, Battle Mode and GP on successive days. And Antistar twice has won the gold medal in the Time Trial One Try tournament. Last time we did that was in 2018, beating about 50 other top competitors. And he took the gold medal by driving what I believe was a 53-second race on this very track. And his victory roar on crossing the finish line probably registered on seismographs all around the world. It was loud and it was sustained. He's not on that kind of pace here after coming to a full stop, but a 58 is going to be good enough and moves that to a 4-0 lead. Aron kind of struggling to have a clean race here. The one track he did get a clean race on, Bowser Castle 1, he didn't get the point, though neither did Antistar, both getting a 1:29.49, and we'll replay that track later on. If anybody in chat has any questions, ask away. Either I'll answer them or one of the many Super Mario Kart experts in chat will. We move on to Rainbow Road, which is one of the iconic Super Mario Kart tracks. I believe a version of it exists in every single release of the game, at least one. This is one of the harder ones since there's nothing to stop you falling off at any point, and the track is also littered with invincible thwomps, which don't just stop you when you hit them, they make you spin out. So in his first match, Antistar was heading towards an absolutely brilliant time on this track before making one mistake. We've seen Aron now make that one mistake on his side, so really it's Antistar's race to win or lose, but I have a feeling he's going to be going for something a bit special here. I think special for him, I mean, if we get anything sub 128, it would be absolutely incredible. Let's just keep an eye on the left screen for a moment. So he's crossing somewhere in a mid 110. Oh, I think this is going to be probably a 128.3. He's going to struggle to get sub 128 if my eyes were working. And my eyes clearly weren't working because he gets a 127.95. Wowzers. With a 17.55 finisher. Okay, I was more thinking he was going to do like 17.70 lap on the last lap, but 17.49 into 17.55. That is crazy. Wow. I'd love to know where that would rank in the world rankings. Like, not one tries, but just infinite tries. It's certainly faster than anything I've ever done on that track by a mile. And that's Antistar out to a 5-0 lead. So I was saying earlier that Aron needs to pick up, I think, 6 points in this match to finish second in this group overall. If Aron doesn't pick up 6 points, if he picks up 5 points, he'll be tied with Cager on 17 track points over the 2 matches. If he picks up less, he will fall behind Cager into 3rd place in the group. I believe if 2 players are tied, then they'll be playing a short format play-in match to decide the seeding. But as it stands, currently we're looking at Antistar really looking like he's asserting some dominance and going for number 1 in this group. So it looks like Aron's a bit ahead, but it also looks like he started a little bit earlier. Yeah, I see Antistar's timer ticking over to the second a little bit after Aron's. But even so, I think Aron has the lead on this track. Maybe only a 10th or 2 in it, though. I think both players are going to be looking for a low 103. Ooh, yep, that's the first point for Aron. He'll be happy to get on the board. 103.12, absolutely fantastic time. This is 103.38. Now, I might be wrong, but I think that might be the 3rd 103.38 we've seen in this tournament. I'm fairly sure I've seen that time before crop up on at least 2 other players' runs earlier. And we move on to Donut Plains 1. I believe this was a track where the entire Twitch chat was asked to shame Lafungo earlier in the week for failing to get a 1:11 time. Honestly, a 1:11 on a 1 try is incredibly difficult. I think these players are probably happy with a 1:12, though it's fairly easy to make any mistake and lose a 1.5 seconds on this track. Trying to see how their timers are. It looks like this one's going to be extremely close as well. I have a feeling Aron's time is a tiny bit ahead. And Aron is a tiny bit ahead on the track. So, yeah, this is going to come down. Anybody going to make a mistake? Anybody going to go super tight and risk it all? Ooh, I think Aron lost a little bit of speed. Oh, and he hit a wall. What a gift. Wow. I think Aron had it. He had it. He had it, and then he clipped a little bit of grass, and then he turned in and hit the wall, and Antistar gets the point. But both players with a 1:12, so shame. But wow, Aron had it right up until the last corner there. Again, I can't really shame them. They both drove times faster than I've ever done, so. Okay, it looks like one of the players has gone and one hasn't, so I'm hoping that the ref will just start Aron. So hopefully the ref is going to start Aron at some point, and we'll just have a bit of a desynced race here. I suppose I'd better open my chat just to see if I've been sent a message about what's going on, just in case. Doesn't look like it. Oh, no, I do have a message. No. That's just them saying that they're going. Right, so there is a platform jump, which I fully expect to see Antistar going for on the last lap. He normally gets it, but in this tournament he's been missing it. So let's see. Antistar is going for the platform jump. He makes the platform jump. 106.76. No, it's not a rage quit. I think There was probably just some issue with the start for one of the players, probably asked for a break or something like that, and so just this track they'll be desynced on the start. To be honest, Aron's going to need a bit of a miracle to beat that showing by Antistar. The platform jump on this track is difficult to do at the best of times. It's incredibly difficult to do under this kind of one try pressure. And as you can see by Antistar splits, that platform jump is worth about 1 second. There is absolutely zero chance Aron beats that time that Antistar did without going for at least one platform jump. But even doing a platform jump, those are some fantastic splits by Antistar. 40, 47, 47. So Aron's only hope here is to go for the platform jump. I don't think he will. He is going for it. And he just didn't quite get it. And that's going to be a score line, which I don't know if Fire Waster is awake and know he was going for a little bit of a nap. But if he is, he may want to look away now because we have 7-1. The scoreline which cuts to the heart of every Brazilian watching, especially Fire Waster. Fire Waster will be up playing in the match straight following this one on SpeedGaming 1. It'll be KVD, the world number 1, against Antistar, the PAL number 12 in the world, but he's number 6 in the world on NTSC, which is his stronger mode. Who'd have thought we'd have a 7-1 scoreline after 9 matches? We move on to Bowser Castle 2. An in-joke in the community is that this is the whale shark of SMK. Some of you probably heard many other commentators talk about it in past races, but we can always go over the story again. I believe it was a question posed during a podcast. One person asked another, if this track was a fish, what fish would it be? I'm fairly sure the question was asked to Dan _H, a very avid fisherman. And after some initial pause of what kind of question have I just been asked, we came up with whale shark. Because this is the longest track in Super Mario Kart, just as the whale shark is the longest fish in the sea. And wow, I was going to say we're seeing another fantastic race by Antistar, but he jumped straight into the lava. He's still got a reasonable advantage over Aron, but he can't afford another trip to the lava or any kind of full stop. So you see the players going to the outside of these 4 thwomps that Aron just passed. In time trial kind of infinite times, when you're going for PR runs, you kind of risk it and try and go underneath the inside one as much as possible. Just because that's the fastest line. And this track is an absolute nightmare to play. Wow, a mistake by Antistar, and Aron is right on his heel now. There's very little between the two. Antistar bounces 2 of the lavas. Aron goes clean over, that's faster. Just not quite fast enough. Wow. And Fire Waster, you can look back now as the score is now 8-1 to Antistar. That 8th point has now guaranteed Antistar at least at least 2nd place in this group. If he can get up to 11, that'll guarantee him the win. And first place in the group. So we move on to MC4. So if anybody wants to post resident sleepers in chat, please feel free to do so. We call this track MC Ball, mostly because in the multiplayer modes, once one player gets ahead, there's usually a very boring race with the other person unable to make up any ground on them. To be honest, that's more at the very top level of play. For mid-tier players like myself, there's always enough mistakes that any track can have a lead change. So the starts of the two players are slightly desynced on this track. Antistar's time is a little bit ahead of Aron, so he needs to stay ahead of it. Oh, wow. That's always a risk when you're trying to take a hairpin super tight. You go for a wall of shame and end up facing in the wrong direction. We've all done it. We've all done it probably hundreds or thousands of times over our SMK careers. Both of these players have been on the Super Mario Kart scene for a very long time. I joined in 2010, and these two players were, pretty much old hat at that point still. I think the first World Championship that Antistar went to was probably the first one in 2002. I believe Aron started going in around 2008 or 2009. Aron takes the point with a 137. We moved to 8-2 after 11 tracks. We did have one tie track earlier, which will be replayed at the end of the race. That was Bowser Castle 1. Donut Plains 2. This is a track which flows extremely nicely, and I'm gonna put my prediction in for an Aron win on Donut Plains 2. I know he's particularly strong on it at the moment. In fact, he's usually very strong on all the Donut Plains tracks. He did have that mistake towards the end of Donut Plains 1, which cost him the point earlier. Okay, I'm being corrected by Stato in chat that Antistar's first SMK World Championships appearance was in 2004, though he may well have been playing the game competitively before attending, and Aron's was in 2009. So these two players have been around at high level for a very, very, very long time. Probably played every one of the tracks thousands and thousands of times. Now we're asking them to play each track only once and do it as well as they can. So for anybody who wants to know more about the Super Mario Kart World Championships, if you look at the bottom right of the stream, there's some links. The very bottom one, ffsmk.org. That will take you to the Super Mario Kart World Championships website, where there's stats, facts, figures, player bios, and results from every single championship, as well as links to probably hundreds, if not thousands, of World Championship videos on YouTube. I suggest anybody who wants to go check out some of the recent two-player finals, especially the GP and the match race. They are absolutely fantastic to watch. And Antistar takes Donut Plains 2. Moves to 9-2. Are there young players in the championship? It depends what you mean by young. We have had the children of some of the competitors join in occasionally, but typically most of the players are at least 18. We have had players do well who were under 18 in the past, but they've all kind of grown up now and they're like 21, 22. And at the other end of the scale, we have Nana, who claims to be 47, but we recently came across some evidence to suggest he may be anywhere from the 47 he claims to roughly 14 billion years in age. Of quite a lot of long-time carders in the community, people who've been time trialing very seriously, some of them since the game came out in like 92, 93. So this track is known as having the easiest platform jump in the game. We see Aron jump over it there. It's called the easiest platform jump in the game, but it's by no means free. We've already seen several players complete clean races with 5 out of 5 platform jumps in this tournament. I'm not sure what the fastest time is. I think maybe Carol did a 1:16 a couple of days ago. We're not going to see that kind of time by either of these players, as we've seen mistakes already. So Antistar with a high 1:19, Aron coming home with a 1:22. Both very respectable times. Oh, pressed the wrong button. There we go. We move to 10-2. So both of them had bad lap ones, and then after that it was pretty flawless by both of them. But Aron's lap 1 was just worse than Antistar's, unfortunately. So Antistar moves on to match point, and if he does take the 11 points, he will take first place in this group. Go on to Choco Island 2, which is my personal favourite track in the game. We're probably looking at these players looking for a 1:06. I don't know if either of them are in the kind of form to do a 1:05 in a one try. Given some of the things we've seen from Antistar already today, he may well go for it. But I'm expecting probably more mid to low 1:06s if they do it well. Fortunately, Aron's had a mistake there. So his chances now entirely hinge on a mistake by Antistar. Anybody who's watching them drive through the thick mud and wondering why they're not slowing down, just as I say that, Antistar slows down driving through the thick mud. They're doing something which we call NBT, New Boost Technique. It's been known for well over 15 years now, so it's hardly new. Basically, by power sliding for just over a second and then releasing with a counter steer, you go into a boost mode. Wow, what a gift! And Aron's been handed that race by Antistar at the end there. Wow. A 1:10 winnings time on Choco Island 2. That's something I don't think either player would have expected. So yeah, by power sliding for just over a second and then counter steering, you release a boost. The boost it gains about 0.10 in terms of raw speed, but it also allows you to drive through off-road sections without losing any time. It looks like we had a false start by Antistar. I think he's talking to the ref. He may well have the ref telling him to keep going, which would be unfortunate. So yeah, so by power sliding for just over a second and counter steer, you can generate a boost. There's ways of tricking the game into doing power slides in a straight line, which is what you see when you see the players wiggling the cart a little. While they're doing that, they're holding the slide button and wiggling, and as long as they never go neutral, they're always either pressing left or right, then they'll still be able to build up a boost. Oh, I see I've got a Discord message. Let me see. Just going to try and find out what's happening here. Choco Island 1. Blimey. Yeah, it looks like Antistar jumped the gun, but I believe the rules are if you jump the gun, you just keep going. I'm waiting for some ref input here. Okay, so it looks like he accidentally started earlier, then stopped, sent some messages, and the fact that he started, even though he started early, basically rules are that he finishes the race and we use whatever time he gets. So by stopping and typing in chat, he's essentially given the point to Aron, I believe, unless Aron somehow manages to take like 2.5 minutes to finish this race. Okay, we see Antistar in chat saying he accidentally pressed B again after he selected the track, which started the race. So they're meant to press B once, which puts the track in a "is this okay" position, where when they press it again, it'll start the race. It looks like he accidentally double tapped it. So I'm going to preemptively give Aron this point because I don't think it's going to take him 1.5 minutes to drive this last corner. We move to 10-4. It's still match point to Antistar. So I hope it's 10-4. Somebody in chat saying 11-4. Did I miss a point? If I missed a point, somebody let me know. Yeah, I just asked the ref for confirmation. Yep, it is 10-4. Yes, the tractor, as it's known, is legal in a one-try situation. All through CDM, Super Mario Kart World Championships, we call it CDM because it was originally held in France, and it was the Championnat du Monde, or Championship of the World. And they allowed both the wall hop long before the time trial ranking site allowed it to be used, and they also allow what we call the tractor, where you repeatedly bump along the wall leading to the finish of the last lap to maintain speed. It's a very difficult thing to do, and it probably saves only 2 or 3 tenths of a second. It's probably more likely to lose a race than win it, but I think Aron already knew that Antistar had essentially forfeit that race, so he could do whatever he wanted. So Cooper Beach 1, it's just driving around in a circle for about 53 seconds or so. Antistar is doing a very good job of it. And just as I say that, he takes a dip into Carol's corner. Oh, Aron squeaks over just enough speed. Takes it by just... wow. We saw the gift. The gift on the last corner as Antistar went full KVD mode by falling in the water at the last corner. And Aron very, very close to gifting it back there. He took a very, very aggressive hop over the last corner and snagged his back in the deep water, but not quite enough to drown, just enough to cut all his speed. Yeah, apparently I do have some incredibly impressive jinxing technique, but it only happens when I'm being genuine. If I ever try and fake it, it doesn't work, but as soon as I'm genuinely praising or saying, look at this karter, he's about to do X maneuver, it usually goes incredibly wrong for them. Ooh, we've seen mistake after mistake from both players here. This is not a great MC3 from either of them. I think my favourite MC3 I've seen of this tournament so far had to be from Shaw's, aka the Drunk Strawberry, who drove the track without doing any boosts, but he did a 5 out of 5 pipe jump at the end. It was fantastic. Neither of these players are going to be going for pipe jumps with the MBT line they're taking. moment it looks like Antistar. Was Aron going for a pipe boost though? It looked to me like Aron was going for a pipe boost. I think that's probably a bit extreme to try in a one try because you don't know how bad your opponent's done. I know Aron had made mistakes, but he's gone for another pipe. That's a fantastic pipe boost by Aron there. Extremely risky to do. And a 131.93 versus a 135.5. Antistar takes his 11th point. That is going to guarantee him first place in this group. So he will advance to the knockout rounds with a bye in the first round. Aron, currently with 5 points on this match, still needs to pick up one more point to guarantee second place in the group. If he loses all the rest of the remaining tracks, then he will be tied on points with Cager and we'll have to have a play-in race for the second and third spots. I've also been informed by the race referee that Antistar needs to take a quick break to check his controller's R button. I think he was having some controller issues. Hopefully he can either just play on with it or grab another controller. We were just talking today about how long people have been using their controllers for. And I believe Antistar was saying that he's been using the same controller since 2013 without any problems. Looks like everything's sorted and we're going to MC1. Both players are going to be looking for a low 59 here. Both players, I believe, have had low 59s already in this tournament. I'd love to see a sub 59 at some point in this tournament on this track. It'll be incredibly difficult to do. But you see them boosting. I believe it's something like 15 boosts in total over the 5 laps. They're kind of just going toe to toe at the moment. 3 laps in, nothing to choose between them. No drop boosts yet, no walls hit. So Aron's taking a bit more of an aggressive line. He's pulled out probably a small lead. Keeps it together. Oh, that was a lovely boost by Antistar there. Aron's going for a flat boost finish. Wow. Wowzers. That finish by Aron is probably what took it, to be honest. Let's have a look at the last laps. Okay, maybe not. But it's enough for Aron to take the points. And by taking that point, this basically now confirms the Division 1 Group B final placings. We're going to see Antistar qualifying in first place with a bye in the first round of a knockout phase. Aron now is going to qualify in second place, and Cager is going to qualify in third place. And Antistar misses a zoom start. Doesn't really matter now, he's already secured first place in this group. I'm sure he'd still like to show some pretty swag play. This is a very, very strong track for Aron. I believe it's one where he was... I shouldn't even open my mouth. Okay, so we're neck and neck again after a mistake each. Yeah, it's 20 tracks, so Antistar has won, but the group stages are not determined by matches won and lost. They're done by total track wins across all your matches. However, Antistar went into this race 1 track win behind Aron, and these two are essentially battling for first place in this group. So by taking it to 11 points, even if Aron were to win all the remaining tracks, he would still finish 1 point behind Antistar in the group standings. And Aron now has quite a decisive lead on this track. Just needs to stay out of the water, make it round this hairpin here. Essentially nothing can go wrong now for Aron, and he's going to take it to 11-7. Yeah, so we've already reached the point where Antistar's got enough points to win this group. He needed 11 points to win the group. Aron needed 6 or 7 points in order to guarantee second place in this group. So he now has guaranteed second place in the group. But there's still plenty of pride to play between these two. There's quite a rivalry going between them, especially with them being numbers 4 and 5 in the world at the moment. Aron will shortly pass Antistar in the world rankings, unless Antistar actually comes back and starts playing for some PRs again. How are the group matchup selected? So we went into 2 divisions. We essentially made Division 1 for players who were ranked inside the top 50 in the world, and Division 2 was for lower ranked players from around 200 in the world all the way down to 500 or so in the world. I think we even had 1 unranked player join. And so the Division 1 was split into 2 groups. So it was basically sorted out with the highest ranked player in Group A, the second highest ranked player in Group B, which was Antistar, the third highest ranked player in Group B as well, which was Aron. The 4th highest player then went into Group A. That was, I'm going to say, Lafungo. Was joined by Guillermo Arantes, and so on and so forth. So we're on MC2. Any long boosts going on? So you can do what's known as a long boost on this track, where at the zippers, if you, rather than just ride the zippers over, you can hop off of them so that you bounce into the wall, ricochet back onto the zippers, and then get launched over at a much higher speed. It's very difficult to do. Players aren't going for it, and Aron takes the point. So despite the score being 11-8, we have actually played all 20 tracks. And that's because we had our first tournament tie earlier in the match on BC1, with both players getting a 129.49, I want to say. It might have been a 47. So they're going to be replaying that track now, because the rules say that any tie tracks, you don't get a point and you play it again to determine a point at the end of the race. So we're back to BC1 again. And this is going to determine whether it's 12-8 or 11-9. And if they tie again, they play again. And it looks like they managed to start pretty much at the same time. So hopefully we see the same level of skill and side-by-side driving that we saw last time. So this is all about tight cornering. You want to hop over the lava, you don't want to hit the bumpers. Every bumper you hit slows you down, and it's a cumulative effect. So if you hit all the bumpers, you lose a lot of time, and we're talking seconds per lap. So you have to hop over 6 lava gaps every single lap. That's 30 in total, and it's very easy to slightly mistime a jump and jump in the lava. It's also easy to mistime a jump and go jump too late, hit the bump bar, lose some speed, and then when you try and jump the next lava, because you're not at full speed, you end up jumping straight into it. Aron hits the thwomp. We're not going to be seeing a 129 by Aron. Antistar taking some of these corners incredibly tight. How he's not crashing, I don't know. I think he's gone full swag mode here. I've not been looking at the splits coming across the line too carefully. Oh, that's a shame. I think Antistar was going full swag mode there. And I say it's a shame, but what it's actually done is brought us right back next to each other. Pixel for pixel, almost. This is going to come down to who has the best last corner. And it's Antistar, just. Let's have a look at those first 3 laps. Okay. So Antistar takes the point and takes the match at 12-8, and that's going to put him through in first place out of Division 1 Group B. And Langerak, not out of the competition, he's also qualified through in second place. And the third qualifier from this group is Cager. Those 3 will all be advancing to the knockout bracket. Antistar will get a bye into round 2 of the knockout bracket. So that's it for this match, but don't go anywhere, because immediately following this match we're going to be having another match. Let me mark this as done. Yep. So yeah, immediately following this we're going to be having another match between KVD, Karel van Dijkenboden, SMK_machine in chat, and Fire Waster. And that's going to be a Division 1 Group A match involving the world's numbers 1 and 12. Let me see. Given that there's only about 3 minutes before the next match is due, I think we'll probably have to skip the interviews unless somebody jumps in straight away. If I don't see anybody jump in, I'll finish this one and let them get set up for the next race in about 3 minutes' time. So while we're going on, I can see some links are being linked in chat. There's a link to the tournament bracket there. There's probably a link to our Discord as well, I'd assume. If there isn't, you can see in the bottom right of the stream we have mariokartplayers.com/smk, and that's the ranking site for time trials. We've got about 600 people ranked on NTSC, 600 ranked on PAL. So it doesn't matter which version of the game you want to play, we have rankings for you. There's a link for the Super Mario Kart Discord, and ffsmk.org is the Super Mario Kart World Championships website with 18 years of World Championship history and loads of videos. Some of the highest quality two-player Mario Kart action you could ever hope to see. I highly suggest you check it out. Go look at some of the videos from some of the recent finals and just be amazed at what two people can do when they're playing each other in Mario Kart. Other than that, I'm going to end this one and she'll be back in a couple of minutes.